All right, let's dive right in. We're about to unpack a pretty provocative idea today, one that challenges something we all believe in: loyalty. Our source material calls this the myth of eternal allegiance.
Wow, okay, that is a brutal statement, and it's meant to be. The philosophy we're exploring today says the real question isn't if an ally will betray you, but when. It's designed to make you rethink your entire understanding of trust, right from the get-go.
And this really begs the question, right? If every single alliance is built to fail, why on earth do we keep trusting them? Are we all just hopeless romantics? Or maybe there's something fundamental about allegiance that we just don't get. Let's dig in.
So let's start with our first section, the inevitable betrayal. And what we're going to do here is basically take apart the whole idea of trust as we've always known it.
You know, ever since we were kids, we're told loyalty is this noble thing, right? An unbreakable emotional bond, a promise that's supposed to last forever. It's held up as the highest virtue in friendships, in business, you name it. But the way of thinking we're looking at today says that's all just a dangerous fairy tale. It suggests there's a much harder, more cynical, and maybe, just maybe, a more useful truth waiting for us if we're willing to look.
Okay, moving into our second section, the currency of self-interest. This right here gets to the absolute core of the argument, the idea that every single relationship is, at its heart, a transaction. So look at this. This slide just lays it all out, drawing a super sharp line between two ideas we tend to mix up. On the left, you've got the myth of loyalty, emotional, unconditional, permanent. But on the right, you have the reality of allegiance, strategic, conditional, and totally temporary. The big takeaway is that it's not about feelings. It's about what each person gets out of the deal. And understanding that difference is, well, it's everything.
And that brings us to a really key term from this whole philosophy, the expiration date. And this isn't just a metaphor. We're talking about a very specific moment when the math changes. The second it benefits your ally more to leave than to stay, boom, the allegiance has expired. From their point of view, what we call betrayal is just the most logical next move.
So, if this is the world we're really living in, how do you even operate? This next section is the playbook. It's the set of rules for navigating a world of temporary allegiances. We're moving from the what to the what to do about it.
Okay, so here's a four-step process. First, calculate the currency. Get brutally honest about what you're giving and what you're getting. That's the foundation. Step 2, identify the expiration date. Actually sit down and think about future situations where your goals might not line up anymore. This isn't being negative, it's just being smart. Step 3, watch for shifting tides. An allegiance isn't static. You have to pay attention when their priorities or their situation changes. And finally, step 4, probably the hardest one, detach emotionally. You have to start seeing the alliance like a strategic chess match, not some sacred promise.
So how do you actually spot that expiration date coming? Well, there are some pretty clear warning signs. Listen to their language. Does we suddenly turn into I? That's a huge red flag. Watch the flow of information. Do they suddenly stop telling you important things? Information is currency, and if they stop sharing, you're being cut out. Think about the future. Are you still a part of their long-term plans? If not, or if they're cozying up to new allies who compete with you, yeah, the end is probably closer than you think.
Now, I know what you're probably thinking. This all sounds incredibly cynical, maybe even a little paranoid. But this last section is all about reframing this. It's not a recipe for fear, it's actually a tool for empowerment.
Let's be really clear on this. The goal here isn't to make you distrust every single person you meet or live in a constant state of suspicion. Not at all.
What it is a call for clarity. It's about wiping away the emotional fog so you can see the actual mechanics of a relationship. It's about understanding the rules of the game so you can play it well, instead of just being a piece in someone else's.
And this is the real payoff. This quote just nails it. When you see alliances for what they truly are, temporary arrangements based on mutual benefit, you free yourself from the shock and pain of betrayal. When you expect it, when you plan for it, it can't destroy you. That kind of foresight gives you resilience. It gives you freedom. So, to wrap this all up, we're going to turn the lens back on you. Now that you have this framework, think about your own allegiances. What's the currency being exchanged? And, more importantly, what's the price that would make you walk away?